Hey everybody on YouTube and hello friends! I am Dr. Christy here and we are live on Facebook and Instagram today for our day 3 of our Replenish challenge. And I have had such a fun time talking to all of you about all the things you've been learning as you've been doing this challenge and all the things that have helped you. It has really helped me to know what has helped you. And that has been, it's been really fun for me also to be practicing all the skills we've been learning so far. And yesterday we talked about energizing, and the day before on day 1 we talked about how to recharge in the best ways possible. And today we talk about play. And I have said this before, but play is not my forte, it's not my strength. This is definitely my husband's strength. He is constantly playing. He is always seeking fun. In fact, we've identified that his main motivating factor in life is fun. And I love to have fun too. In fact, full disclosure here, when I was a teenager, the only bumper sticker I've ever owned in my whole life, which I can't believe I actually had a bumper sticker put on my car because I'm just not a bumper sticker kind of gal. But it actually said, "Fun is my middle name." Yeah, that's what it said. And I put it on my car when I was a teenager. And that's because I used to think I was just so fun. And I was so fun. I was super fun. And then, you grow up and you get responsibilities, and especially children and work and other things that come along. And suddenly play seems to go out the window. I don't know what my hair is doing there. And today seems to be fated for me to talk about play because I had no sleep last night, and I woke up in the middle of the night, and for some reason my brain just turned on and I was just kind of spinning out, you know how that goes. And I was awake for like 4 hours in the middle of the night and woke up finally when it was time to get the kids out the door, late myself, getting them out the door, and decided to cancel my bar class, which was what I was supposed to be doing, my productive thing, my work, and instead go back to bed. So to me, that was my idea of play, was going back to bed when really I was supposed to get up and start working and take care of some things. But that's what Replenish is all about. That's what this challenge is all about, is finding that balance between, or let me back up, because I keep talking about balance, but if you've ever heard me talk about balance before, I actually don't believe in seeking balance, because I think that as we seek balance, we tend to miss it. Instead, balance is about choices. So it's about making the choices that lead to a sense of feeling balanced in our lives. And that's what it's all about. And that's why we've been talking about, first of all, that plug in versus unplug kind of balance. Sometimes we need to plug in, sometimes we need to unplug. Second, we talked about the calm energy balance, right? We need some of that downtime in order to have energy. We also need to make ourselves get up and move in order to have energy. And today we're talking about the work-play balance, which is all about choices. If you think about it, everything we're talking about is about making the choices that bring us to the place where we feel replenished, where we feel healthier, where we feel happier and more whole. And that is why play has to be part of this too. Because as I'll show you, the research is very clear on why play matters, not just for kids, but for adults. And the research is also very clear, and this is a sad fact, that even children are not playing as much as they used to. And so we're lacking in play overall. And it's not just we adults who grow up and, get busy and responsible and suddenly feel like, oh, I don't have time to play, or that's for kids. Also, our children and our teenagers are not playing like they should. And if you think about it, when they are playing, a lot of times they're playing on a device, like playing video games and stuff, which is fine, but it just that can become their whole world, right? And so we're missing the point of play in a lot of cases. In fact, so playtime has significantly decreased. Let me share just some of the research. The reason that researchers believe that because playtime has decreased so much, this is one of the main reasons why childhood and adolescent mental illness has shot up so much. So there's a direct link between childhood and adolescent mental illness rising and a decrease in play. And we also know that about 5 to 8 times as many high school and college students are diagnosed with an anxiety or depressive disorder today compared to 50 years ago, when play was more the norm. Everybody would go out and play. That's what you did. You didn't go on your device or connect, or you weren't trying to build your Instagram. Instead, you were out playing. And now we have this rise in mental illness for teenagers and children, and for adults as well. And it's all, a lot of it can be linked, not all, but a lot of it can be linked back to there is no play. So the problem is that not only are children suffering, but adults too. We don't have any clue how to play, a lot of us, except if you're my husband, he knows, he doesn't need any help with this. So, but if you're like me, you know, we forget about play. We might, you know, do something fun once in a while. We might go on a vacation or do something and think, oh, we can play then, or we can have fun, or maybe we'll go out with our friends on Friday night. But what about every day kind of like putting some play into our day? How can that work when you're trying to be responsible and productive and get things done? Now, if I'm being totally honest here, when my husband talks about playing, so he plays golf, he plays pickleball, he loves to do puzzles, play games. Like, we have a giant Connect 4 game right now that I got for Christmas for the family. And he's been challenging the kids, and they've been playing checkers. And every once in a while I'll play too, because, you know, that's what moms do. But I don't like it. It's not fun for me. I don't love playing games. That's just not my thing. If I want to play a game, I want to play like charades or something where we're up talking and working and connecting with each other. But I always think when he's doing these things, and I've said this to him way too many times before, you know, but what purpose is there in that? What meaning is there in play? What is the point? You know, like, what are you doing to help the world? How are you serving people through your play? And yes, I realize that is me taking it to the extra extreme, and that's usually when I'm upset with him because he's been playing a little too much, and I probably need a little more play, and I probably am jealous because I haven't been playing enough. But it's up to me. Again, it's our choice, like we said, to find that balance. But the truth is that if we were to define play, play is defined as spending time without purpose. Spending time without purpose. So how dare I criticize my husband for playing and saying, what's the purpose and what's the meaning? Because the whole point of play is to have no purpose and, you know, not really focus on the meaning, okay? But there is meaning. There is meaning. And when we add play into our life, it's essential to our brain development. It's essential to creativity, to intelligence, to innovation, to mental health and happiness. And research shows too that it also increases and improves our ability to work and be responsible in better and higher and happier ways, right? So there's a high correlation between being stressed out because of work, which many of us are, and I fall into that category too often too, and increased, you know, stress, depression, anxiety, all kinds of mental illness. And also that work stress that we carry around, it affects all these other areas of life that we've been talking about. When we're talking about replenishing, how can we replenish if we're so stressed about our work and we have no kind of ability to, like, no outlet for that stress or no way to deal with it? How can we effectively work? In fact, it impacts our sleep, it impacts nutrition, it impacts exercise. That's probably why I didn't sleep last night. I was thinking before bed about all the things I had to do today, and I made a list, and I thought, oh, good, it's out of my head. And then, you know, you wake up in the middle of the night and they all come back. So we need to think about play as something that's not only fun and makes us happy, but something that is actually research proven to really, really significantly impact and increase our mental health, our ability to work, our productivity, our inspiration, all these things. So the question is, if that's the definition, and this is by one of the top researchers of play, whose name is Stuart Brown, and he's the one that really defined play in this way. He said, which is spending time without purpose. So if that is the definition of play that we're using, spending time without purpose, I want you to think about, what do you do to spend time without purpose? Okay? A lot of what I do, I spend time with purpose, and it's fun for me, okay? So it doesn't just have to be that when you're spending time without purpose, that's the only time you can have fun. You can have fun while you're actually doing things that are meaningful and doing your work, which, you know, I love to do this. I love to speak. I love to teach. I love all those things. And so my husband's always comparing, oh, but you have your speaking and you have your teaching and you have your online video courses, and I have my golf and my pickleball and that I go out of town to do all the time. I'm like, it's not the same, because that's my work and that's your total play. You're literally just playing for your own replenishment. It has nothing to do with, serving the world or making money or anything like that, right? So what is the time without purpose that you spend, right? Hi, Sally. Hi, Melissa. So glad to have you both here. Think about that. We didn't have a worksheet for today because we don't really need a worksheet to figure this out, okay? It's really kind of simple. What do you do to spend time without purpose, to have fun, yes, and to get some of that downtime that is, going to help nourish you and replenish you? And what can we do to put more of that into our day? So, in fact, okay, let me read you this quote too by the same researcher, Stuart Brown. He says, the opposite of play isn't work. The opposite of play is depression. I'll say that again. The opposite of play isn't work, it's depression. And that's why play is so essential. So here's what I suggest, and here's what I did. Just get a piece of paper or use your, phone or whatever device. I don't know if that's not showing up. And just make a little list. How do I play? What kinds of things do I do to play? Right? That's the question. And honestly, I had to take a few minutes to think about this. And it depends on the time of year. But for me, play could involve music. I like to play the guitar. I like to write songs. I like to sing. It involves speaking and teaching sometimes, because I really do like to put the playful element when I'm speaking and teaching, but that's not without purpose usually, so that doesn't totally count. It's a playful attitude. I actually, I know the research behind relationships that last, and especially marriages that last, and the ones that work the best are those that have a playful element, that can joke around about life and what's going on, that can laugh even in the midst of a disagreement, that can, argue about something, but then bring it around to kind of a funny point and joke around about it too. Those are the ones that are going to last. So I try to bring that into my relationship, and my husband is a very funny guy, and he always thinks he's funnier than he really is sometimes too, because it's fun to be funny, but when you're trying to be funny all the time, it gets to be a little much. But I'm grateful for that, because it brings playfulness into just our attitude. Think about that. How could you have a more playful attitude? So I was thinking about, part of my list here is when I am joking around and laughing with my kids. How can you make that more playful? When you're just spending time with the kids, joking around, you can do a fun activity. You can get down on the floor and play with little kids, but how can you just bring more of that aspect of playfulness in? I love to go to the beach, and I don't live by the beach, so when I'm there, I go and I sit on the beach and I read novels that aren't for any purpose, and I love to boogie board, and I love to play smash ball. I'm really good at it. And I'm also really good at paddleball. I should have brought that to show you. Okay, maybe I'll bring that another day. But anyway, the little paddle with the little string and the ball, I'm actually really good at it. So sometimes I just pull that out and it kind of relieves stress by doing that. So it doesn't have to be a big deal. Karaoke. My kids got a hoverboard for Christmas, and I am so afraid to drive it around. And they're just zooming all over. It's I was like, does anybody at our house walk anymore? What is the deal with this hoverboard? And so they challenged me to try it on the carpet, because I've had a concussion twice and I can't afford to hit my head, but I did try the hoverboard, so that's play, right? Traveling is play, exploring is play, and of course, then other things, adult coloring books or drawing, or, doing video games or creating videos. Creating stuff is very playful for those who like to create, right? Doing a scrapbook, going to lunch with your friends, playing a game, playing sports, getting outside and doing something that you wouldn't normally be doing at a time when you wouldn't normally be doing it. That's an extra bonus there. If we want to put more play into our lives, let's think about when we need it the most. That's the second question. So if you can make a list of the things you do to play, and then look at your daily schedule or plans and think about, when do I need play the most? Kind of like we talked about yesterday, putting some of those activities for energizing into the day at the time when you need them the most, when you need that energy. And instead, also, in addition, we can also put more play in right when we need it the most, at the time of day when we really, really need to recharge. And so those are the main principles. It's pretty simple. Do something without purpose, and it will improve your ability to focus, to do work, and to have fun, and to connect, and it can really help in a lot of ways. Now, I decided that because today was gonna be a short lesson, which I'm glad it was because the other ones were so long, and like I said, I kind of woke up a little while ago because I went back to bed today. That was part of my play. I'm here in my Salchi sweater and leggings and slippers. I decided I would sing a little bit because why not, you know? And this is one thing I do to play, so I was just gonna sing a little bit of a song I wrote, just for the heck of it, for a little bit of play for us, and to make me pull out my guitar, because it's been forever since I've actually practiced. And again, the purpose of this isn't for me to practice, although it helps me to practice to sing on video or in front of people, but that's not the point. The point is just to play a little bit. So I'm gonna tell you a story. This is a song I wrote back in graduate school, and I really wrote it about like, I was doing an internship, my first internship, in a place where I was working with population that was completely opposite of me. Completely couldn't be more opposite of me. And it was scary. And the reason why I picked that place was because it was so different from me and from what I knew and from like what I believed and everything, that I needed the challenge. You know, I was starting off as a psychologist and I wanted the challenge of something that was not going to be easy for me. So I went there, and then I wrote this song about it, about, you know, how we need to push ourselves to kind of like reach out and get to know people that are different than us so that we can connect and have that love and, you know, get to know each other. The funny thing is, okay, so a few years ago, I submitted this song and another song I wrote into a songwriting competition. And part of the competition was that you get feedback, like these songwriters would actually record themselves talking about your song and telling you, you know, their thoughts. And the guy that reviewed my song totally thought it was about something else. So I realize now why he did. He thought it was about falling in love with somebody, but it's not. It's not about that. So here we go. This is called Opportunity. I'm just gonna sing like a little bit, just for the heck of it, you know. So here we go. We're not the same. No, we couldn't be more different than the outside anyway. And I am much too worried about what friends would say if I treat you any other way. So I will pass right by and I'll stare at nothing so I don't look you in the eye. You will do the same, though we'll both feel ashamed. Cause deep inside something's stirring in me, and I can't help but wonder why. I feel as if I've lost something precious every time I pass you by. Did I miss an opportunity? Did I miss a chance for love? Did I fail to see the beauty of strength in you that I would like to be part of? Did I miss an opportunity? Did I even ask your name? Did I fail to see the beauty of strength in you and dig through the difference to find we are the same? Na 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 na, yeah. I'll sing one more verse. I'm in your world today. I feel so uncomfortable, I just wanna run away. And you won't look me in the eye, you stare right past, even though I try to smile. And if I've thoughts to share, you roll your eyes and smirk, and I'll show how much you just don't care. And so my mouth sits still, even though I really feel that deep inside something's stirred in me, and I can't help but wonder why. I feel as if you've lost something precious every time you just pass me by. Did you miss an opportunity? Did you miss a chance for love? Thanks, Melissa. Did you fail to see the beauty of strength in me that you would like to be part of? Did you miss an opportunity? Did you even ask my name? Did you fail to see a teacher, a friend in me, and dig through the difference to find we are the same? Yeah, we are the same. Okay, I'm gonna stop right there. Anyway, okay, see? That was me playing around because obviously I didn't practice and I just did that on a whim. But this is the point, and thank you, Melissa, for the encouragement. I appreciate that. You are a true friend. People, let's get out there and play today. Let's do something fun, something that has no purpose. That was just for fun. There wasn't really any purpose in that, just for fun. something that helps us to get out of our head, get out of the difficult things and the challenges we face each day, and replenish, okay? Maybe that involves going back to bed like I did this morning, or going to bed early, whatever it is for you that you think is fun and playful. Put more of that into your day, and also put more of that playfulness into your attitude with your family, with your friends, with your work. You're gonna have so much more fun, and the research supports that those who actually tend to have better outcomes dealing with stress, and they just put more enjoyment into life, and they have more fun on a daily basis. So even if my husband drives me nuts with his playfulness and his over funness, he's got something right there too. I think we can all be a little more playful, and as we do so, we are going to feel a lot better even when life is not easy, okay? All right, everybody, tomorrow is day 4. We've done our R, recharge, energize. Today we did play. Tomorrow is L for love. And we're gonna talk about some of the research around loving not just other people, but how to love other people better, and also how to love ourselves better. And actually I have a pyramid of love, a love triangle. I thought of that in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. It's called, instead of the pyramid of love, I'm calling it a love triangle because, you know, love triangle, right? Get it? Haha, me being playful. So that's what we're gonna do tomorrow. We're gonna talk about the love triangle and what that means, and how we can love ourselves better and let others love us better, and give that love back so that we can replenish ourselves, because love is one of the best ways to get replenished, for sure. All right, everybody, you go out and don't have a good day, as I tell my kids. Make a good day. See you later. And how the heck do I end this? There we go.